Hey guys, so today I'm going to do a review of ABC's Nashville. This is a show that I really love, that I've been watching since it started this season. Got my fingers crossed that it's going to get renewed. So yeah, let's talk about last night's episode. Basically, we're back out on the road, thank goodness, because I'm absolutely loving that whole like Juliet and Raina dynamic and just kind of everything that goes on when you're out on the road on a tour. First, let's chat about Juliet in this episode. I feel like they're kind of showing us that she's growing some. Obviously, she doesn't have a manager right now. She's managing herself. But we also know that Juliet is kind of like immature and, she's got some major character flaws. But after their little break, when she came back out on the road, she brought her mother with her and she brought Dante, who's her mom's sober companion. And Dante seems to like really kind of be rubbing off on her in a good way. So Dante really gives her some great kind of business advice, and he also helps her to really kind of present herself well, like in a really mature way. So by the end of the episode, she like picks up sponsors and she stands up to Marshall, who's the head of her, record label, who's kind of a jerk. But then in true Juliet fashion, she screws it up, because obviously her mom is there to be with her and they're trying to rebuild their relationship. And technically, Dante is there to be her mom's sober companion. But, as the episode goes on, we kind of get that he's distracted by Juliet and by what she wants him to do. And then, of course, at the end, the two of them wind up sleeping together, which is just a bad idea all the way around. There was this great scene, too, between Raina and Juliet where I think Raina is really starting to see some of the changes that Juliet's making and maybe starting to think, okay, like maybe this girl isn't just a complete brat like I thought she was. So that was interesting because I really feel like I want to see the two of them join forces. Like I know they butt heads and that's one of the best parts of the show in reality, but at the same time, part of me wants them to like join together to like, I don't know, take over Nashville. I would love that. Now, speaking of Raina, most of this episode was about her and her daughters and about their kind of desire to get into the music industry. And her daughters are really talented and, played by the awesome Lennon and Maisie, who, go YouTube them right now because they're so, so good. And they sang and it was wonderful, and I hope we get to hear more and more of them sing because they are so, so good. But you got her struggle, she loves her daughters and she knows they're talented, but at the same time she knows the music business, and so it'll be interesting to kind of see where that goes. There was also a little kind of scene where you saw Raina on stage and she sees Maddie off stage with Deacon, who we all know is this child's father. And when is he going to figure that out? That's going to be a devastating blow to both of them, I think. Deacon's got his girlfriend Stacy, that we met last week for the first time, the vet, on tour with him. And, Raina's jealous, for sure. You totally see that. And while I enjoy the fact that, Deacon is, moving on to some degree, because Lord knows he's been hung up on Raina, all this time, I don't love it so much because I'm all about Deacon and Raina, and it's like she's finally getting divorced and here's the chance for you two to finally get together. And here comes Stacy, whatever. So we'll see how long that lasts. Now, my favorite couple on this show would be Scarlett and Gunnar. And yeah, they had some really great scenes in this episode. Now, so obviously from last week, we learned that Scarlett got offered a record deal by herself without Gunnar, right? And I love the two of them together, so I'm with Scarlett, so she's trying to convince the record label, like, look, we sing better together type of thing, but they only want her. And so she kind of keeps it quiet. She doesn't tell Gunnar. So we get that it's been a month since the last episode. And when he finds out, he is upset with her. And for a little while, I think she feels like he's upset because he's jealous, maybe. And she keeps trying to tell him, look, I'm trying to convince them that it's you and me and la la la. But I loved the scene at the very end, right? Because at one point, she finally goes to him and tells him, like, look, I'm not signing this contract. I am where I am at because of you. Like, I just was writing poetry. You're the one who turned me into this. You're the one who showed me that I'm a songwriter and that I'm a singer. And so I'm not doing this without you type of thing. And then at the very end, there's this great scene where he just tells her, like, I'm not mad because I'm jealous. I'm not mad because you got it and I didn't. I'm mad that you waited to tell me. I'm mad that you didn't tell me. And I love that he makes the point about not being Avery. Like, he tells her, like, I am not like Avery. I am so proud of you. He tells her that he loves her because he's just awesome. And he just tells her, just sign the damn contract. It was so lovely, that scene between the two of them. And And, you know, the new neighbor upstairs, you know, there's another guy that's moved in above them who's kind of like a cowboy / singer. And so it makes me wonder if, you know, he and Gunnar had some time around the fire where they were singing together, and it makes me wonder if that's going to happen, you know, if he's going to pair up with him, or something's going to happen for Gunnar, because I think he's so talented too. I still don't know how I feel about the fact of her being a solo artist. I really like the two of them together, so I guess we'll see what happens. Let's talk about Avery. Avery seems like he's on like a road of redemption to some degree, because we all know that his character has just been pretty awful in this series so far. But he's basically at rock bottom now, you know. He doesn't have a record deal anymore. He doesn't have the publishing, you know, contract anymore. Nothing. No place will hire him in town, you know, because his manager pretty much just kind of like blackballed him all over town. And by the end of the episode, we see him taking a job as like a roadie on, you know, the Raina and Juliet tour. So I guess we'll kind of see where that goes and where they take this character. It kind of excites me because they have painted him as such kind of a bad kind of guy, or maybe as a guy who's so ambitious that he's really ready to kind of run over anybody to get what he wants. That I think now that he's back at the bottom, he's got a chance to do it right this time. So fingers crossed that he learns that lesson and that he does that. We briefly see Teddy and Peggy. You know, Teddy's breaking the rules by bringing this woman back to the house when Raina asked him not to do that because he's an idiot. And then Lamar shows up to kind of like try to blackmail her. It turns out that she's the one who was selling tabloid stories about Raina and Teddy's divorce. By the end of the episode though, you know, his blackmail, it seems like it won't matter because it looks like he has a heart attack. That's the very last thing we see, is Lamar having some sort of like heart attack, stroke type of medical situation. And I'm not sure if they're showing us that he's dead or if they're showing us that he just had a heart attack. I'm not sure. It looked pretty final when he was like dropping the phone. So honestly, I would be glad to be rid of that kind of part of the story. It kind of annoys me and I'm kind of tired of it. Like, I don't know. Like, I get the whole political thing and I'm okay with that, but like Lamar and his whole dastardly deeds, it was getting kind of old, so I guess we'll see where they go with that. It was a great episode, you guys. I love this show, love the music in this show, love the storyline, and I know it's a show that's been like critically loved, but not a ton of people have been watching, so rating-wise, it's only been okay. So, come on, ABC. Don't be canceling my Nashville. We'll be upset. Okay, guys, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye.